Hello, welcome back to Let's Try. We're trying Fates of Ort. I've almost run out of games from the Steam sale. A lot of these games I bought with the intention of doing a series, but I figured I should look at them first, right? Makes sense? I think I do want to eventually do a series on this game. It seems like a lot of fun. It's one of, I guess I like to cover the undiscovered gems, and I think that this game comfortably fits under that description. So this is Fates of Ort. It's I've played for about an hour. You can see that. I'm gonna start a new game. I kind of like this sprite, but I'll pick a different sprite. Yeah, that looks good. What is this? Challenge mode for experienced Fates of Ort adventurers. Do not select on your first playthrough. Okay. How could you describe this game? I think it's a little bit Diablo-esque. Just a little bit, not a ton, just a little bit. Velka, your sister, greets you with a smile and raised eyebrow. She stands with a hand on her hip, a bow slung over her shoulder. Well, I heard you were joining the academy, but I didn't believe it until I saw you walk through the door. What changed your mind? So there's going to be a lot of dialogue and story in the beginning here, and I'm going to try and, I'm not going to skip it so much as try and like breeze past it a little bit. I want to go on an adventure. Speaking of, let's go see Arg. He's upstairs in the training room. Perhaps they'll show you a thing or two. So we're going to go and learn a little bit about how the combat works in this game. So this is kind of a little bit Diablo-esque. It's maybe a bit more pointed than that, and I wouldn't say it's as flush in terms of mechanics as Diablo, but its heart is in the right place, and I think it is pretty entertaining. As you gain sight of the training room, you catch the swordsman performing his finishing blow, cleaving the practice target in half. He turns to you with a smile, wiping sweat off his brow. Greetings. Valka's told me all about you. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Aragist of Mortifex. Yes, of the Mortifex royal family, but being a distant relative to the king isn't my claim to fame, he says with a wink as he grabs a blade and flings it in the air. It lands squarely in the middle of the room, tip embedded in the wooden floor. You can call me Arg. He gestures to the sword. Let's see what you're made of. I'm sure I'll figure it out. All right, that's the spirit. So we're gonna try some. Put down. Interesting. I didn't know that was an option. Let's see what that does. No, that's not really an option. That's when you. That's what you call the illusion of choice. That thing didn't know what hit it. Let's try a moving one. So there's no permadeath in this game, but there's an interesting kind of time mechanic that works. It works not unlike a traditional roguelike in that when you move, time moves forward. So you kind of have to time your shots a little bit because your swing takes a little bit of time to move. As does magic. When we eventually get magic, you'll see that magic takes some time to move across the screen sometimes. You'll see. There's some interesting things going on. So I have seen people kind of describe this game as like almost a puzzle RPG, in that you have to like use your spells, kind of tactically or smartly. Do it smartly. Be smart, think smart, do smart. It's good. Now is when you approach him to ask for a drink. Reaching behind a barrel, he produces 2 bottles and hands them to you. Press the use quest item, enter. Cheers. Arg whoops as your bottle collides. So we're drinking. I do want to get to the main game before. Actually, I wouldn't mind getting to our first quest before I wrap this video up, because there's quite a bit of introductory in this game before we see the campaign, and I think it's worth it. I think there's a pretty interesting story. There's even an interesting moral choice in the very beginning. I will slow down a little bit as we get to it, but hey, we're interrupted by some kind of magical or dark invasion. So I'm gonna attack these demons. Combat is very simple for now. We're just basically right-clicking to kill. Right-click to kill. I feel like this really, to me, feels like a labor of love. Like it's definitely got some old school inspiration. It's got some quality of life stuff, but it's also just, I don't know. It's just it's a fun, wholesome game. This is like a really wholesome kind of RPG experience. You don't get this very often, I think, not anymore. But I do appreciate some of the sort of more convenient features of it. I say convenient. I guess I really am just talking about quality of life stuff. It plays pretty smoothly. It's a smooth experience. It doesn't play clunkily. I guess I don't know how to put it better than that. But like from old school games, sometimes you expect a little bit of clunk. So the Duke waves his hand dismissively. Yes, it is true, but this magic is not of the sisters. This is more powerful, free of constraint, none of the limits imposed by the sister. He growls. Purple fires burn in his eyes. You can have it all right now, with no sacrifice. Do you accept this gift that I offer? So the Duke, there's a common magic in the world which is reigned over by the sisters, which later we will choose from one of the three sisters a school of magic. Which is, I think, a kind of interesting way of doing things. And honestly, it's nice to see a game with a little bit of replayability potential. And right here, we have some replayability potential because we can choose whether or not we want to accept the Duke's offer of chaos magic or purple magic. I don't know. In my game, the one I was playing off screen, just to see what kind of choices the game offers to me. Said, yes, I want the power, and they gave it to me. I have the purple power. Reject the power anyway. This is not a choice you can make twice. I'm going to refuse the offer in this campaign, but it is. I think it warrants saying that you can accept the offer for purple magic, which I think is interesting. I think that'll probably have long-term story events or repercussions. One could say your choices matter. I am a hero. Please don't. This is distressing enough as it is. I do not need you painting yourself as a fool as well. You are what we have available, and you will have to do. Her eyes turning menacing. Just do not fail. Carry the power of your daughter. Yes, unfortunately, it is necessary. Consumption has returned. What should I do now? Go speak to my daughters. So we've been whisked away to the world of the three sisters. I know, as I said, I'm kind of blowing through the story a little bit, but you'll have to forgive me. I want to get to, I think, what people are going to want to know about this game, which is how does it play. Absolutely, the RPG elements are important. The story is important. I wouldn't, I don't want to undervalue that, but I also want to get to the meat and potatoes of what this game actually plays like, because chances are that's why you're here. What happened to you? I met the sisters. I received magic. You have magic, but I thought it wasn't real. How does it work? So I chose one of the sisters pretty much at random. The other, in my game, I chose the Sister of Darkness and of Shadows, which is pretty easy, interesting, but I kind of just have a shadow orb. I don't know yet how to use my sphere. We'll figure it out later, I think. I guess I chose the Carefree Sister of Life. Am I not? Oh, I am going over there. I will say it's not always easy to know where I'm meant to go, although I guess we can look at our quest log. And of course, if you're paying close attention, it would be easy to know where you're supposed to go. But when you're sprinting through the story, then So we're gonna get to the overworld. I'm gonna show you a little bit of the combat. We're gonna level up a few times. We'll probably complete a quest. And you can kind of make up your mind about Ort. I would love to hear from my viewers if this is a game they would like to see. I'm making a note of it, and I think it's something I would like to play because it is. I mean, there's enough story here, and I like to read the story, and I think the story would be interesting to people. There you are, Duke Camersolt says with a smug grin on his face, I think I know where you disappeared to, and I know that's not good news. In the interest of expediency, I will now kill you. Looking over at Valka, he adds, both of you. Valka swiftly and quietly readies her bow, but she is not fast enough. The fatal spell hits her with tremendous force, dropping her dead on the spot. Oh my god, no. This is terrible. And instantaneously, our hero is dead, killed. But not all is lost. We are back in the realm of the sisters. The old woman scowls at you with fury in her eyes. Do you think you can take one of my daughters and just die? She snarls. You matter now, and you have a task to fulfill. Get back there and destroy consumption. Then you can die for all I care. Okay. So these are, I don't know what you would call them, but these are like respawn crystals. The old man looks as if he's seen a ghost, shifting his gaze between you and the shimmering spike next to you. He exclaims, What? Where did you come from? I'm not sure. It was cold, windy, and confusing. Old mother sent me I have power of one of her daughters. His jaw drops and his eyes go moist with emotion. I have studied this for so long I never stopped believing in the sisters. Listen, child, I don't know who you are or why they chose you, but if it is true that you have the power of one of the sisters, then you are the only one that can stop Duke Commersault and the consumption he is unleashing on Ort. Do not speak of magic or the sisters or old mother, please. People will not believe you, as they have long since forgotten. I have been mocked all my life for my research, but he waves dismissively. No matter. We must focus on the task at hand. He clasps you by the shoulder. I am Decord, scholar of the fates and the lost magics. What should I do now? I've taken to residing in the Chroniclary. Come see me there. I will tell you everything I know to help you on your quest. The custodian of the Chroniclary will almost certainly be of great help as well. You must speak to her. Simply walk west from here, and you will find it. But beware, the roads are dangerous now. Rogue knights, brigands, even corrupted monsters and demons from below. Okay, what happened to my sister? I'm sorry, friend, she has perished. I will bring her back if I can come, so she can she. That sounds good. What are the... Okay, I've closed. We're done. We're done with this. And now, basically, we're in a big sandbox. I mean, it's kind of like Diablo Skyrim a little bit. You know, you're gonna get distracted by a lot of side quests. Oh God. You're gonna get distracted by a lot of side quests. You're gonna be fighting a lot of monsters. You're probably gonna be grinding a little bit, but you're not gonna mind because the combat is actually very engaging. It's fun. It's not too hard. There's a little bit of spice, but not too much. It really is just a good time, at least until it gets too spicy, and then you will be so immersed in the story, hopefully, that it won't matter. None of it will matter because you're having such a good time, and all of the woes of the world have melted away, and you are lost in the world of Ort. It'll be good. I think it'll be good. I think you will enjoy. But hey, anyway, we're going on an adventure, and we're going on many quests. The two men stand appraising you with skeptical expressions. What's this? The taller one says. You think you're a hero? Ha, the shorter one adds. You're still fighting maggots, the taller one scoffs. Maggots, the short one echoes. Who are you? They puff up with pride. We're the heroes of Ort, the tall one begins. We're heading to Dormancourt to defeat Duke Commersault and consumption. You'll see. You'll see, the small one repeats. Best you turn back. It's too dangerous for the likes of you. Leave it to the real heroes. Okay, well, sure. If that's what makes you happy, I guess. Hey, if it makes you happy to put others down at the, in order to biggin yourself and biggin, then, who am I to judge you? I don't know. They always say, who am I to judge you? I mean, who is anyone to judge anyone? I'll judge you if I want to. We're all equal in this world, in theory. Unless you're very wealthy, in which case you're clearly better than other people. Some spicy politics coming in my Let's Try videos. Sneaks in there sometimes, you can't stop these things. They're like kobolds in the night. So we're killing slugs. The combat right now is simple, but I like it. It doesn't feel like it needs to be much more complicated than what it is. It's satisfying. And once we get some spells, it's going to be even more satisfying. It's going to be, we're going to be throwing out spells left and right. We're chopping down mailboxes. We're going into houses and, hey, what's going on here? We're back in the realm of the sisters. Ah, there you are, child. Took you long enough, she chides. I set up this area for you. I gathered the spells I could find from days long gone. Many are missing, but these should be enough. Simply go up to a spell and select it to learn it. Once you have experienced enough to learn another, I will draw you back here. The barriers will disappear as you learn more. We will need to protect your fledgling mind from the more powerful spells you see. So here's our first spell. This is not one I know. I knew the Shadow Orb. Let's see how this one differs. Bolts of arcane magic or power are the combat staple of a competent magician's arsenal. These deadly projectiles burst on impact, dealing damage to any creature close enough. I'm hoping it does differ a little bit. It isn't just like the different sisters aren't just like one is a dark fireball and one is a shadow fireball. But it kind of looks like that's exactly what it is. There may be differences later, but for now, it just kind of feels like, well, we got a flame dart. And in my other game, I have a Shadow Orb. Maybe the Shadow Orb has a little bit bigger hitbox. You feel overwhelmed. Our hero is having some self-doubts because, their sister is dead. And the world is being overcome by horrible things. It is the first spell. They're going to give you probably a very similar looking spell in the beginning because, it is the first spell. And how can your first spell differ that much? I'm a friend. Creature relaxes, thank goodness. Did you get a ship over here? By flying it, of course. Granted, our technology is probably quite alien to you. Must seem like magic. Why are you here? What happened? How can I help you? So this guy is going to ask us to get an ether coil. Not sure where to find the ether coil. We can probably find out in our journal. We have to go to the Black Tower. Shot down over the snowy plains by a mysterious contraption on top of a black tower. Handed me a broken prismatic ether coil and told me it could be repaired by any blacksmith. In return for repairing the coil, Brax promised to ferry me to a number of remote locations using the airship. So this is possibly going to serve as a means of fast travel. Later, we got some shoes. We can't equip shoes anywhere. You can only equip shoes at the big respawning crystal that I left behind. And I think that's an interesting limitation. It does really kind of, you feel like you want to push forward, but you definitely armor and will improve your odds of continuing to survive. I think that when you respawn, you do lose progress. So, alert works like a save and I guess it kind of works like Caves of Cud save and load. Trackmakan Taiga, Temple, Corpa Range, Court, Castle, Mordefex, The Rusts, Mausoleum, Trowwood, Village, Southeast, Dorman Court. I think that's where we came from, Academy. So I don't know what this is. Or it has many moons. Oh, interesting. Stern-looking woman stands near you. What happened? Combination of poor stewardship and a lack of appreciation for the written word is my inference. This used to be the most impressive collection of books in the world. Well, I suppose it still is, she scoffs, but it is a shadow of its former glory. How can I help? You look like an adventurer. Please, perhaps even astute enough to appreciate the value of the written word, she smiles. If you find any books on your travels, bring them back here. Is there a reward? There's not much I can offer. I found a repository of old documents, maps, sea charts, musical notes, strange old scrolls. I would happily trade these in exchange for any books you may find. Here, why don't you take this? It's a map of the world, supposedly has magic properties. How does it work? Thirst for knowledge is admirable. See these faded pins on the map? She pauses for a moment. Look of confusion on her face. That's strange. The pin next to the academy isn't faded anymore, but you are supposed to need to have magic to use the map. I do have magic. Oh, she looks puzzled. Well then, the notes accompanying the map state that it can be used to instantaneously travel to certain fate spikes. I actually didn't know this. That's interesting. Okay. So, oh wow. I never looked at this. That is hilarious. So we can fast travel to fate spikes. It looks like if we go to the court, there is another fate spike that we can check out. That's amazing. So that's a mechanic I didn't know. Helps you to keep track of things. What are you reading? What does it mean? It says that the wizards that could cast spells to put creatures to sleep or slow them down, that sort of thing. But it implies that the wizards were lazy and instead would create structures like turrets, totems, and walls. Then they would cast spells like sleep or slow on those structures, which would imbue them with the ability to inflict effects on other creatures. So the wizard wouldn't have to. That sounds like a foreshadowing of mechanics we will yet to see. Ooh. A cape. A cloak. I think this is the friend. Learning additional spells would be useful, but I could not begin to know how to achieve that. Perhaps there are old records in Tarkamundo, the Black Tower in the north, perhaps. Otherwise, perhaps you could find some equipment with magical properties. And that's how I know to improve my magic, is by finding some equipment. I would kind of like to check out the Black Tower. If I could do so on this, let's try. That'd be kind of neat. Let me show you how magic works. It works how you imagine. The fun thing, I guess, is that because magic only, moves when you move, you do have to kind of plan ahead. You can, you might want to shoot where someone is going to go, of course, but you might also want to move to draw them towards the spell that you cast, which is also fun. Is there a person here? There's a lot of things to explore in this game, which I kind of appreciate. And I guess this is the part that reminds me of Diablo, is like lots of barrels and stuff to break and things to collect. Strange man came through here recently asking if I'd seen some criminal accused of blowing things up. How would I know? I see loads of people all the time. Anyway, I wished him luck. He'll need it, and sent him on his way. Last I saw, he was heading northwest. I keep saying Diablo. I'll say this. I've played very little of Diablo. I have played enough to know what it's like. And of course, I've played many games that are like Diablo. I'm not going to talk to this guy. I've talked to enough people. I want to fight and explode things. I also would like to go to this area, the court. Okay, there's a trail there, maybe. So you're gonna be no, there's nothing in there. So is this a pathway here? Okay. I haven't actually gone this way, so I don't know how nasty things are gonna get here. But here's a fate spike, so that's really nice. We can equip some of the things we've collected. Force spell cost reduced by 7%. Monster vision reduced by 29%. Walk speed plus 5%. So that's what you can expect from things like fate spikes. I should say, like, I haven't played much of Diablo. What my game of choice, like a lot of people would, draw nostalgia from Diablo. Not so much myself. My Diablo-like game that I grew up with was called Nox, which I really enjoyed. In fact, I wouldn't mind doing a playthrough of Nox for the channel at some point. It's a pretty heavy game. It's very difficult, I would say. Although I don't know. I'm sure I thought so when I was a kid. Not so much now. Can I enter this building? Yes, I can. I'm glad that the door always faces forward, because that way I don't have to go searching for it in an area I can't see. We can go upstairs. Stuff to fight or break up here to gain some XP. That is XP we're gaining, by the way, which I find curious. I haven't really seen any signs of like currency, which is a pretty bold choice, I might say, because games like these usually have a lot of different forms of progression, and currency is one of those where you can, you want to gain currency so that you can buy new equipment. But it doesn't seem to be the design choice for this game. It seems XP and equipment drops are like the thing you want more than anything. So is this an enemy? No, this is another NPC. I'm finding lots of NPCs. You need a rest? What is this statue? She's commanding. I can't let her get destroyed. Most have fled already. But where to? The monsters are appearing everywhere. I'm making a stand here. He stamps his foot. Either I manage to survive here or I die protecting a cultural artifact, our heritage. I'm so tired, though. Wondering... I haven't really seen... Yeah, I chose this direction kind of arbitrarily, but I'm not seeing a lot of combat, which is actually pretty interesting. I mean, like, on my playthrough, I headed southwest and saw a lot of combat. This looks like a trap over here. There's no way. You don't have enough mind coins to offer it. Right, I forgot. So there's different kinds of coins. They all kind of correlate to the different sisters. So I am the life of the life sister, and therefore most of my magic is going to be in life. I'm going to be gaining life coins. I don't know. I'm not being very eloquent right now, but all I really mean is that because we cast life spells, we're going to be gaining life coins generally. My other playthrough, where I am using shadow magic, I collect shadow coins, or I guess I don't know what they're. I think they are just called shadow coins, but anyway. So I guess the third sister is the mind sister. I don't know if maybe you get spells that let you dominate other creatures in that playthrough, but I do hope, and I'm assuming that there is quite a bit of difference between the different schools of magic, and it's really just the first. Oh, we've got some of these are really tough enemies already. Let's hit them with a dart. Yeah, so this is a bit more typical for this game. Is you'll have screens like this that are like filled with enemies, and you want to try and take them on fairly safely. Although I've taken damage in this game and not felt like I'm on the brink of death. Oof, that was close. I love I do really appreciate the telegraph. It's very kind. You can see where something's coming. I want to go and kill that thing. Ouch. Because they are creating a problem for me. He's very good at aiming. Like if I just move in one single direction, that'll hit me. Is that something to collect? I'm pretty sure it can get through here. No, it doesn't look like it. So I guess I just can't get to that guy. Not yet, anyway. There's a chest over there, so I'm assuming I can get over there. That guy looks like he's having a problem. Ouch. Ow, that hurt a lot, actually. Maybe life magic will eventually give me spells that will recover my health. Can I not go through here? I guess not. So I guess we're moving on through here. Okay, no, I really thought I was gonna get attacked by some monsters. Those will appear. They don't always have monsters, but they will sometimes. This maybe seems like where a blacksmith might dwell. I'm wondering if we'll meet a blacksmith here. The man looks visibly distressed by the ongoing events. What is going on? The world is crumbling, and I saw a ship sailing through the sky. There was black smoke billowing out of it, and it crashed near the chroniclery. A terrifying creature peered down at me from aboard the ship. It waved at me and screamed something horrifying. I ran straight here and haven't been outside since. Well, that's not nice to say about our friend. I will punish this person by breaking all of their boxes and barrels. I wonder what that is. Kind of looks like a tomb. I was hoping that was going to be a blacksmith, but I guess not. It does seem like there's no limit to range on your spells, which I do appreciate. I have on occasion, like I've met like a cyclops later or something big and mean, and some things can be really tanky. You got to hit them with a lot of spells. Ooh. Okay, there's a cloak. I do want that cloak. You can also pretty much spam spells, but like it requires you standing in one place, so you might be an easier target for foes. I would like to do something of note before calling it for this. I mean, I'd also like to get one more spell just to show you what that looks like. I think at this point, like, you know pretty much what to expect for a game like this. I think there will be more complex spells, and it's a little bit more tactical, I think, than your standard like action RPG. Oh, we could actually, if I could get over there, I can actually open that. Oh, that's a bummer. This shadow hole is like in the way. I wonder if there's a way to like recover those holes, or I wonder maybe there's another door over here. This game does somewhat remind me a little bit of Super Mario RPG, just in the way that the sprites kind of line up. So it might be that there's hidden entrances occasionally. I wouldn't assume, but it's reminiscent of Mario RPG, and there's a few occasions where you have to like go behind something. Ooh, you got a big old vat. I own the shop just to the east of here. I narrowly escaped with my life when a big hole in the ground opened up just beneath me. The woman sized all of my things. Wow, I'm just gonna break her stuff, huh? Wow, there's like nothing here actually. No, I'm here. Okay, we can go southeast. That map is actually very helpful. Having that added like big picture context helps me kind of orient myself. I am pushing rather dangerously. If I die, I will lose quite a bit of progress. So, you know, I want to be wary of that, but it's hard for these games, it's hard not to want to push forward. And I think that is kind of the, part of the game is like you want to push, you want to see how far you can get, you want to see something new. We're very close to level 2. In fact, I think if I go through this door, I will be visited by the fates. Nope, never mind. Farmhouse is modest but cozy. The small fire in the corner adds a friendly warmth. These are dark times, eh? The woman says, an exasperated look on her face. I feel we've got bigger things to worry about, but I'm having trouble with my crops. And no matter what else is going on, we've still got to eat, right? What's the matter with your crops? They're getting picked apart by some sort of fowl. I've never had this problem before. Would you make me a scarecrow and place it in my field? It's just nearby in a small grove of trees to the west of my house. I don't have much to my name, but I found something that might be useful to you. I'll see what I can do. Interesting. We got another quest. We've got a quest to do something, to make a scarecrow. So she wants me to make a scarecrow west. It would be nice to complete like even a single quest. just to see what that looks like. Okay, so we've definitely leveled up now. Oh, there's the farm, so I wouldn't mind trying to complete this scarecrow quest. But I'm not sure how to do that, to be honest. She's struggling. Farm is located in the grasslands to the northeast. Oh, sorry, northeast of the courthouse. And beyond the large statue nearby. Following the path through the small settlement in the rocky area leads to a small forest where the farm is located. You can get a hint, which is interesting. You must obtain the familiar spell and combine it with the mind element. Cast it in the plot of land to... Okay, so that's interesting. Kind of glad I used that hint because it definitely tells me a lot more about what kind of game we are playing. I didn't know you could combine spells. Or combine elements, I guess. I haven't really mentioned it at all, but I do really like that our fireball has like a splash radius to it. Like we can see very transparently that kind of information. We don't have to guess. All right, let's go into this house because then we will get to select a new spell. So these look familiar to me. Makes the target believe it can only move slowly, as if in treacle. Maya Akuria uses her influence, coaxing the subject to fight its own allies. I swear these were the same spells. I guess I could have selected the life spell over there. I wouldn't mind. I wanted to try something a little bit different. So I got a slow spell. I should have looked at the other spells. That's my bad. So maybe the sister we selected just correlates to what kind of coins we're collecting, and not the type of spells that we're finding, which is interesting. I'm not really sure like what the long con is, like what it all adds up to. So let's try this slow. So then now they're slowed down. So I can better plan their around them. We of course don't have to slow this guy down. That looks like a farm, I swear, but... So I want to go southwest. Maybe this is where we have to go? Nope. I want to go southwest because there's a... something southwest. There's a bunch of trees in my... Oh, there we go. So what's here? Not much. So we could try and find the farm, except it sounds to me like we don't have any way of interacting with it, because we're going to need like some kind of life magic, which I don't have yet. Or sorry, not life magic, mind magic. I'm not sure. There's things I don't understand yet, clearly. And I mean, if I'm doing a playthrough of this game, I will eventually discover it. That looks like a farm. Maybe that's it. The burly farm hand dusts himself off and drops the pieces of fence he was holding as you approach. Well met. Welcome to, well, what used to be my farm. Say, you look like a crafty one, eh? Okay, how can I help? You can help me get rid of this beast. That's what you can do. Every night, another one of my livestock goes missing. Now, as you can well see, it's just me and my wife left. I'll do it. Great. He bellows as he lays a hand on your shoulder. All you need to do is place a trap in this here paddock, then join me in my house. We'll be sure to catch it. And that's where my understanding leaves, because I'm not sure how one would place a trap. I think you'd probably want to have some more magic at hand, some better understanding of things. You're too late though. They're all gone. We're done for. Here to help with us with the beast that's taken our livestock. Don't worry. We'll deal with this and you'll be fine. You're right. As long as we're safe, we'll be fine, I'm sure. Ooh. Heck yeah. Oh, that just gives us a bunch of XP? Not honestly what I was expecting to get from something like that. There was more stuff upstairs. Oh, no, never mind, there wasn't. I thought maybe I'd get a piece of equipment or something. So I wonder if it wouldn't actually be pertinent to go to one of these spires so that we can re-equip our stuff. And it doesn't seem to lose any like progress. Is this any better? I like that it's very easy to compare things. Monster vision reduced by 29%. Force spell cost reduced by 7%. Monster vision reduced by 11%. Spell casting rate less. Okay, well that's interesting. So there's certainly a lot more to discover. Probably I'd want to go and fight a bunch of monsters and complete a quest that, you know, I might actually be able to complete. Maybe we already have one. Saving Valka, that's not going to happen. Conquering the skies. So what does this say? Must obtain a familiar spell. Oh, and combine it with the mind element. So I'm not sure. The hunter becomes the prey. Catch whatever beast has been terrorizing. Oh, okay. Acquire the trap spell and cast it inside the paddock. Okay, so there's a bunch of spells, and I don't have many or a lot of them, really. But that's okay. I think you kind of get the idea of what this game's about. You might even want to do a little bit of grinding. I would certainly make my best effort to complete some quests, but it seems like we don't have what we need for some of those. And I suppose that's like, that might be what people were talking about when they said it was like a puzzle game-ish. Because rather than like all of your efforts going towards fighting monsters, you are also trying to figure out which spells you need, how to use them appropriately. Ouch. I did not see you at all. Man stands gazing at the sky, head craned as far as it can go. You look up as well, taking in the sight of Ort's many moons, arranged in their familiar pattern. What are you looking at? I'm looking at the moons, he says dreamily. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to wander on one of them? Every footprint, the first ever. You stand in silence for a while, both dreaming about it. What it would like to wander on one of the moons. Suddenly, one of the minor moons erupts in a silent explosion of black and purple. The man gasps in astonishment. The sky is streaked with bright balls of flame. Long tails of thick smoke trailing behind them, one by one. They strike the ground all over Ort. You both duck for cover as the last one crashes nearby. The man gets up excitedly. Did you see where it landed? If you find it, bring it to me. I didn't see where it landed. But I would certainly try and find it. That was pretty exciting. One of the moons just exploded. So we can time it so that this guy will be slowed when the fireball hits him, so his aggro is less of a problem. A lot of shaking going on right now. Not exactly sure why. Oh, that looks like it. I'll go in here just for a moment. Just to see what's what. Oh, hey, we can open that chest. Gah, the elderly man exclaims as you enter his house. What makes you think you can just barge in like this? Don't touch anything. Ah, I'm sorry, I'm touching everything though. Oh, it's a ring. I guess you do actually spend those, and we're not collecting exclusively life gems, so I'm completely full of garbage. We found a moon fragment though, so I can actually complete a quest. I'll probably end the episode, I guess the let's try there, and I think I've shown the game off as well as I can. I think I would like to do a series of this game. I don't know if it'll be my next series, but it would certainly be in the future of my channel. Maybe this year. I would like to hear from people though. Oh. That was surprising. All right, I found your moon fragment. Man remains transfixed on the sky, ignoring the world crumbling around him, in case he might miss the demise of another moon. Have you found any more fragments? If you do, bring them to me. What? That's it? I brought you a fragment, though. Use a map to identify the locations where the moon fragments have landed. Then take them back to the stargazer in the grasslands. Just okay. So they show up on the map? Oh, okay. So it shows you where quest locations are. Stargazer. We're here. There might be another map there. I notice that we can see basically the full world. There's something over here that we probably want to explore. That looks like the Dark Tower. Although, maybe not. Maybe this is the Dark Tower. Yeah, that seems more likely because it described the weird creature flying over the icy north. So we'd probably want to follow the river north until we get to the Dark Tower. This is if I continue playing the series or this game as a series. But for now, this was Fates of Ort. I think this is a really cool game. I'd like to play more of it. I'd like to hear from you. I'd like to see you hit that like button. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, hit that like button and consider subscribing for more content like this, and possibly for me to shed some light on some more undiscovered gems. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.